Hello, everyone. Wherever you are and whether you are joining us live or in the future, a big warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us for our evening of new writing. Scratch that. This is our first online performance as a company, and we are very excited to show you what everyone has been up to. Tonight, we are showcasing 4 fabulous pieces of new writing by some brilliant female playwrights. Over the last 2 weeks, our writers, directors, designers, and actors have come together over Zoom to rehearse. We have upturned their homes as they have been made into sets, and we have spanned the globe as creatives have connected from the UK, America, and even Portugal. My name is Charlotte Keith, and I am one of the co-founders of Very Rascals. I am a writer, producer, actor, and for tonight, I am your host. The other half of Very Rascals, Stephanie Greenwood, is currently hidden behind a screen and has taken on the role of stage/Zoom manager. You will meet her later tonight in our Q&A portion of the show. Now, as you watch along tonight, please feel free to liberally use the live comments section. We would love to hear your thoughts and get support for the actors and creatives as we go through the plays. The plays will be shown one after another, seamlessly transitioning, so you are welcome to comment in between each one with applause and your reactions as we make it feel as live and connected as possible. We would also love for you to click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for any updates or future shows. You can find all of our socials below, so give us a follow and tag us in any posts you have about tonight. It would be great to connect with all of you. Lastly, we are accepting donations for this show. If you like what you see, please follow the link below and get donating. All proceeds will be split equally between the lovely creative team. I know you are all itching to start watching the plays, but first it is worth a mention that we are holding a Q&A after the show, so make sure you stick around to hear from the writers and directors of these productions. If you have any questions about the process from directing on Zoom to writing inspiration, please keep a note of them and you can ask them at the end. So without further ado, let me introduce the plays. Kicking us off tonight, we have Grambo by Anya King. Grambo will be performed in 3 parts and is split between the other plays. Grambo is directed by Christiana Papadakis. Next up, we have Failure by Ariella como Stoian. This is directed by Pedro Santos. Original soundtrack, which is very exciting, has been created by Ben Devlin, video design by Effie French, and costume design by Eva Marcus. This will be followed by Evergreen, written by Lucy Davidson and directed by Adam Riegler. And finishing us off is Aloha Apocalypse, written by Marsha Epic Harris and directed by Claire Foy, with sound design by Jacqueline Pajot. Right, I hope you're all nestled in comfortably. Get your fingers ready to type up some applause, and please enjoy the show.
Hi, I am busy at the moment, so I can't come to the phone, but if you text me or leave me a message, then I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, speak soon. Thanks. When you have finished recording, hang up or press the hash key.
Hello, Pet. It's just me, Grambo. Just saying hello. Just checking in. Let you know I'm still alive. Oh, you're not there, of course. Busy, I know. Busy at your age. When you get this, maybe you call me back when you have a chance. There's nothing urgent, really. It's just I want to ask you. I just wanted to check that you got what I sent for your birthday. A few weeks back now. Never liked sending cash in the post. Oh, I wanted to get you something special. But I couldn't get to the shops. My old hip playing up again, as is the lift. And I couldn't manage all those stairs. So I just wondered if you got it. Your birthday money. I hope you spent it having fun or Bought yourself something nice. I wouldn't know what to get you now. Us oldies, out of touch. Easy when you were a nipper. Teletubbies. Remember them? Or Harry Potter. Expelliarmus. Or Levy, get Octopus. Oh, God, that's what I could do with now. A lifting up spell. A little bit of magic. Get me up off the floor at least. Bastards at the post office probably nicked it, I'll bet. I know what they're like. They look out for cards. Oh, they've bloody robbed it, Pet. Your birthday money. It's my fault. I should have put it in a brown envelope, but I've got some in a box at the top of the bookshelf, but I couldn't reach.
You
I can't.
Please hang up.
At a time when I failed.
And just one time? Or...
I'm not sure I believe in failure. No. Well, I know that sounds smug or oblivious, but...
I thought we were here to talk about... Well, not me.
I mean, I'm 21, so there's the standard flat pack young person mistakes I've made, like a fringe or ketamine. Is that what you...
I sold my Bitcoin too early. Does that count?
Yeah, I suppose I have technically failed things before. My driving test. Calculus. Oh, I once failed the drug test, but I had a lot of deadlines, so...
I guess I might have failed friends? Is that a thing? Like I should have been there for them. God, that sounds so... I failed you. Melodramatic.
It's a bit Catholic, isn't it? You failed. Mea culpa, repent, rinse, repeat. It's not particularly productive.
But friends have failed me too. Yeah, no, sorry, that sounds like I'm making excuses, isn't it? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm just a shit friend.
But we think of failure as a business opportunity here. What for? Well, for an investment in innovation, of course.
Because we've learned something from it moving forward.
Phew! Well, breakthrough. You could probably charge therapist rates, you know? Well, you probably don't need to, you've got all this Netflix money.
The technology just didn't exist before.
There was a hole in the market, as well as an opportunity to redress an imbalance.
Get that triple bottom line.
Sell something socially conscious and profitable.
Other happy, shiny buzzwords that means there's money for my research.
This was my first proper job.
Well, it was all Brooke's vision.
Side effects include blood clots, mood disorders, acne, or worse, cervical cancer. Do you think that's acceptable? And why do you think that's considered okay?
I think she used family money at first. She's a legacy kid. Yes, exactly, like Trump. But then everybody wanted in, and Brooke attracts investors like flies to shit.
I worked at a juice shop before. That's actually where Brooke and I met. She was on a juice cleanse.
Sure, it's a pretty gross visual. No, it's not a criticism.
Brooke's really into mentoring young women.
If it was something that impacted men, there would already be something safe, something effective. Control.
Well, younger.
Yeah, I know, of course. I was just explaining the initial rationale. Hindsight is 2020, but that was why.
Brooke was ordering her usual yerba mate goddess juice, and blurred lines came on over the speakers. She complained to my skeezy manager and got him to take it off the store playlist on the spot. It's pretty badass.
Is there any bad blood between us?
Do I feel guilty?
And then the next time she came in, I laughed way too long at this pun she made about flax seeds and faxing, and I spilled yerba mate powder all over myself. Just complete dork. But she didn't mind. She liked it, actually. Gave me her card.
I don't know if that's relevant.
She offered me a job.
Whichever way you dice it, she's incredible. What she's managed to achieve.
I became her assistant.
The scale of it.
This is really silly, but I used to time the length of my smiles around her, like okay, 1, 2, soften the lips a little, 3, 4, too much eye contact, 5, 6, too long, too far, miscalculation, stop. No, it wasn't I was afraid of her, no, I just thought she was really.
Yes, I've seen the reports.
Cool.
And the photos.
Properly monstrous.
Of course I think about it. I can't not think about it. I'm not saying that.
So the implant is hooked up to an app, a one-stop shop for health, heart rate, basal, body temperature, hormone levels. And so there was control, finally. I have a business meeting, dial up testosterone, but hot date, trigger ovulation. Well, we didn't quite put it in those words, but...
I've had PMDD since I was a teenager.
Why ovulation? You don't know. When a woman ovulates, it's her window for optimal attractiveness.
Premenstrual dysphoric disorder?
Well, that's when the face is most symmetrical.
Sure, it's similar to PMS, but it's a lot worse.
Well, there were these experiments done with strippers, those who were ovulating or not, and their tips drastically increased if they were. So it's in the science. This isn't just an opinion.
It mimics conditions of clinical depression for half a month.
It's something to keep in mind.
No, it's not an excuse. I was just... Why ask the question if you don't want the...
It was a clever piece of engineering, if I do say so myself.
This is the story.
Sure, not everyone could afford it at first, but that's how technology works. It takes a while to dribble down to the masses.
Money talks. If you want to change anything about the world, then you have to...
So it gets installed on the hypothalamus with an ancillary chip on the pituitary gland. You look lost. Should I stop?
But when you're balancing the interest of investors and the board and distributors, and you're halfway at the door with marketing, things can get a little...
Yeah, I remember the day. We had to unplug all the phones.
Out of hand.
Eventually, we shut off the Wi-Fi too. You pulled down the blinds, turned off all the lights.
It was my magnum opus.
It was a Tuesday. I remember because that's the day they served muffins for breakfast, and I had this blueberry seed stuck between my teeth all day.
Oh, you can imagine if it had worked. Sure, it was a feminist thing for Brooke, but the wider applications of this technology.
I don't regret it. How can I regret it? I thought it was important work.
It's a complete game changer.
Social structures aren't designed around us. Even the way time is broken down. I wanted to change the cycle of our society.
I'm not a feminist.
I guess you're right. I guess it's not society that's changed.
The first case.
Patient 0.
Carol was her name. I was the one who answered the call.
Does it matter what I feel about it?
I do still wonder. Couple more tweaks. I have some ideas of what I could do to.
Both her and her sister were already in the hospital.
We knew there were a few question marks still about the product. Testing had been rushed. Okay, look, we had a few successful trials with rats. Look, legally, we were all above board. I did warn her, though.
No, I never got the implant.
But she just kept going.
They weren't angry at first. I just remember Carol just seemed confused. She wanted to understand what had happened. And then the press got involved.
I don't know. I don't know why. I just didn't.
And then suddenly a lot of very wealthy women were very sick, and their husbands were litigious, to say the least.
No, I didn't know.
Do I think it could have been avoided?
Well, not just wealthy women. Brooke had created an outreach program, of course.
How could I have known?
She was working really long hours leading up to the product launch. We started staying overnight at the office. There's a meditation room, so I'd nap on the beanbags, but I never saw Brooke sleep.
Failure is inevitable in my field. You can't have progress without it.
No, she didn't ask me to stay.
Would I keep working on it now?
I just did.
Who would fund it after everything?
There was this real excitement, you know, like bone weariness, but also like a build up to something. Like something was finally happening. We were finally making something happen.
Is that all? Cool. No, thank you. This was good. Now off to get my book deal.
That's pretty much everything, I think.
Great. Thank you.
I was wondering, you know, I left my last job a bit suddenly.
I remember.
I was wondering if maybe you could be my reference.
I don't think that would be the best idea for you, Anya. You'd be laughed out the interview.
There's not really anybody else.
Right.
No one's gotten back to me yet.
It's a tough climate.
Sure. It's just if I do find something.
If that's what you want.
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Do you need help? Packing or?
No.
Just get a Batman stare over the city.
I was just thinking.
It's a bit ominous though.
Probably.
Are you going home?
Not just yet. I'll wait a bit.
You never know. They might have left by now.
Someone else might have triggered a nationwide population cull.
Do you want a coffee or a juice or?
You don't work for me anymore.
I know. It was a friendship juice. What are you gonna do?
Probably just look out this window for a while.
No. After all this dies down, what's the plan?
Nope, no plan.
That's not like you.
I'm poison.
Failure is always an opportunity.
Guess I deserve that.
I mean it.
That's just corporate newspeak.
Yeah, maybe. You made me believe it.
Oh, I guess cult leader is a possible career path for me.
Look, I wanted to say, I need to say.
I'm sorry.
What for? I mean, I know what for, but
Everything.
What specifically, though?
The long hours.
Okay.
Well, for trying, but not just ruining everything. I'm really sorry.
I am too.
Why?
I don't know, something to say.
Yeah, I guess it is. Do you know anyone who's
Yeah.
family or friend?
Both. Okay. Right.
You leaving?
Yes, this is my incognito mode.
Okay.
Don't stay too late. Okay.
Hi, I am busy at the moment, so I can't come to the phone. But if you text me or leave me a message, then I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, speak soon. Thanks. When you have finished recording, hang up or press the hash key.
Hello, Pet. It's me again. Grambo. If you could call me back when you get this, call me if you could. That would be... Because I can't reach you. I can't reach... Are you there, Pet? If you're there, please pick up. Oh, it's okay, I know. You're busy. Oh, I wish I could reach you, Pet. Give you your birthday present like we used to. Maria, my little Polish home care girl, you know, she says to me, when can I meet this gorgeous grand pet of yours? She's dusting your photo, you know, my favourite photo of you in the IKEA frame on the bookshelf. Gorgeous, she said. She's gone, Maria. Next door says, all the Poles are going home now, he says, because of Brexit. Who's going to wipe your bum now, he says. Didn't think of that, did ya? Shame. She was a nice little thing. Not like that Brummy one. Hatchet-faced cow, she was. No, Maria smiled a lot. And she sang while she was scrubbing the sheets. Sweet voice. She didn't make a fuss about the bed. I had an accident. She just flipped over the mattress and sang and she scrubbed and she said, where's your family? In Poland, we look after our family. They should come see you. Where's the gorgeous grandpet? Yeah. Busy. Accident. I had an accident, Pet. I fell. I shouldn't have tried to reach. I shouldn't have stood on the chair. I wanted a brown envelope, Pet, to post your money, your birthday money. Stupid, sodding old hip. Oh, I've cracked it, I think. I can't get up. I'm sorry, Pet. I know you're busy. But if you can...
You've exceeded the recording limit.
Call me back.
Please hang up.
Rob? 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 Why is there a brand new sofa in our living room?
What? Bloody, no, cover your eyes, avert your gaze, you weren't supposed to. I thought I'd hear you coming down the stairs, but cover your eyes.
Rob, you do know that I've already seen it. So...
Don't care.
Right, fine, but I've already...
Indulge me, I've been practicing this bit in my head all morning. Mary, we have been talking about making this house a home for so long.
Is that like a John Lewis advert?
And considering we've been spending so much time here together...
It's a way of putting it.
I thought we could memorialise the beginning of this new chapter in our lives by buying us something that would remind us of each other. So, I bought this. It's parts of a sofa. Not yet a sofa. Interesting philosophical conundrum that, isn't it? Is something an identifiable item if you have all the parts but haven't yet assembled them? At what point does an object actually become...
I remind you of a sofa.
No. It's more the idea that when we're on it, that's when we're at our most happy. Because we're together on the sofa.
Right.
It's a vessel for happiness in the same way that bread is a vessel for butter.
Are we the butter?
So, as a token of my love and a gesture as devoting my life to you, I chose the colour evergreen.
How much did that cost?
Because that's our relationship. Evergreen. I mean...
It's not funny if you have to explain it.
It's not a joke.
Well, then what is all of this then, if not a joke?
It will be a sofa that we're going to build together. You quite literally can't do it alone. I've tried, but it's not too heavy. I am strong enough. It's an awkward shape, so...
How much, Rob? How much money did these bits of sofa cost you?
Oh, we can afford it. It's really affordable. That's actually one of their USPs, being affordable. I mean, the company that makes the sofas, they do cushions too, funnily enough.
Is that funny?
Well, just thought we could have some as little accessories for...
How much?
Approaching £2,000.
What? Oh, Jesus. Approaching?
1,998.
It's on a bloody...
Yeah, but I thought you would like it, and we can build it together. It takes the average couple 19 minutes to build this sofa, so I thought we could listen to one of your favourite albums and then snuggle up on it. Would it be nice to associate an entire album with building a sofa for posterity's sake? Maybe some Joan Baez? You know that album where she's all sad and sings the Dylan songs?
That money was for our last try.
Yeah, I know, but I thought that...
That what? Decorating our living room is more important than working towards our goal of actually putting children in it.
Mary, I just thought this might be a nice chance to stop trying to force things. Let things happen if they happen. take the pressure off. You know, the doctor did say that sometimes it's not helped by stress, and you have been very stressed recently, so I thought that the sofa would...
I can't get impregnated by a fucking sofa though, can I, Rob?
Well, I don't know. Remember that programme we watched about the women who married Eiffel Tower?
Can the sofa give me children or not, Rob?
No, but it can help you relax into things, and we can still try again the natural way.
You just don't get it, do you?
I just think it's a really nice sofa, and it was reduced. It was meant to cost twice as much, but I told the sales assistant about our situation and she applied our staff discount.
So it's a pity sofa?
No, of course not. It's
a pity sofa for people to sit on and spectate whilst I feel again and again at my most basic biological function.
Oh, Mary, that's not very feminist of you.
Fuck women's rights. I want to have a baby. I never think about anything else ever again.
Oh, this isn't about the sofa, is it?
I don't know, Rob, what do you think?
Look, we don't need to build this today. We can sleep on it and then look at it with fresh eyes tomorrow.
I've just fucking woken up.
I know.
And you know what? When people say, can we sleep on something, what they really mean is, can we have some time to talk ourselves out of being angry instead of saying what we actually mean? Because God forbid we say what we're actually thinking here, Rob.
Mary.
I've had enough of all of this. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Oh, that feels so good to say out loud. I am giving up, Rob. I give up. I give up the mortgage. I give up you tearfully creeping around me every month when I get my period. I give up cryptic crosswords on a Saturday night while we eat a £10 meal for two from Marks and Spencer's. I'm giving up bloody carpet and wallpaper swatches. And I give up crying over burning the Brussels sprouts at Christmas because your sister's kids are running around just being lovely.
That was a tough day for me as well, Mary. I want them too.
You know what? I don't care that it was difficult for you. I don't really care what goes on inside your head anymore, Rob.
Oh, Mary, please just...
I've had enough. I'm not waiting around anymore.
I've got the receipt. We can return it.
All of it?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't return half of a disassembled sofa.
No,
So...
all of it. All of it. All of it.
You don't mean that.
I do. I want to get rid of all of this. Trappings of all of this stuff. You know, it's no wonder I can't grow a baby when everything is just so suffocating, everything is so trapped in the walls, the cracks and the fingernails of this house, the misery of it all. I couldn't possibly grow a baby amongst all of this stuff of you.
What? Please, let's just build the sofa. Please.
Build your own fucking sofa.
Hi, I am busy at the moment, so I can't come to the phone, but if you text me or leave me a message, then I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, speak soon. Thanks.
When you have finished recording, hang up
or press the hash key.
Hello? Pet? Are you there? If you're there, Pet, please pick up. I can't get up. I fell. I'm stuck. So stupid. Hours. I don't know how many. Oh, stupid bloody hip. Really gone and done it now. I couldn't reach. I couldn't reach you. I've pissed myself, Pet. I'm sorry. It was an accident. Maria's gone. Gone home. Next door, they don't care. Why should they? They're not like family. No one's coming, Pet. No one's coming. And if you don't, please, Pet. It's Scrambo. Please pick up. Call me back. Busy. Please, Pet. Please.
Oh, what time is it? Hey Ed, I said, what time is it? We've got that snorkeling thing at 9. And, I want to get some breakfast first.
Oh my God.
Did we miss it? Our alarms went off.
Sophie, look at this.
What?
It says ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill.
What? You don't think this is real, do you?
I don't know.
Oh my God, Ed. What do we do?
I don't know.
Oh, was that the alarm? Shit. Is it Russia or... I don't know. Who'd want to bomb the US right now?
North Korea? I'm trying to find out more, but the Wi-Fi is overloaded.
Well, let's turn on the TV.
This is not a drill. Take immediate action. The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes. This is not a drill. Take immediate action.
What do we do?
I'm thinking.
Do we have time to go anywhere?
Well, where would we go? It's not like the roads are going to be clear, is it?
Are there bomb shelters? Is there a basement?
How would I know?
my God, it's all just ads. There's nothing.
God, we're fucked.
Do you think we should get in the bathtub?
Sophie, my God.
I'm trying to solve the problem.
Well, perhaps in the lobby they got someone telling people where to go.
What time is it back home?
It's 10 hours difference.
So, 6:15. Should we call the kids?
We could. Or we could make a video, send it to your mum, and then she could decide whether to send it to them.
Oh my God, Ed, we don't even have a will. What's going to happen to them?
Well, our parents will figure something out. I mean, we survived our childhoods, right?
Can a video be a will? I mean, I'm not prepared for nuclear war.
Sirens, can you hear that?
Oh my God, Ed, we have to do something.
Come here, come here. Right. Hi guys, it's Mum and Dad.
Hi, babies. I know you don't like to be called babies. You're 15 and 12.
But you'll always be our babies, though.
Anyway, we miss you so much. We hope you're having fun with Grandma.
We really miss you guys.
We just wanted to say that we love you and...
Something has happened, and we don't know how much time we've got, so...
Stop it.
What?
You can't scare them like that.
Well, I am scared. You're scared too.
Oh, yes, but you can't let them think that they should be scared.
Well, how would you feel if your parents were about to die on a nuclear attack while having a holiday?
Do you seriously want to argue about this right now? I mean, how much longer do we have to live, huh?
Sophie,
We're not going to scare the children.
Okay, we'll try again.
Hi, babies. Listen, I know you don't like to be called babies anymore.
Listen, we miss you, and we wish you were here.
Stop.
What?
I don't wish they were here. That's selfish, then they die too.
We'll both die before we get to send this video.
Oh.
Can we just call them instead?
Maybe it would be better to call.
Right, I'll call them.
Okay. No, I don't want to scare them.
Oh my God.
Oh, come on, let's just do the video.
Okay.
Hi, babies. Listen, we love you so much.
We miss you. We love you.
Grandma is going to take good care of you.
Something's happened.
But it's going to be okay. You're good boys. It's okay.
We love you. We'll always love you.
And nothing will ever change that.
Take good care of our boys, Kathy.
Mum, I love you too.
Tell my parents I love them, and my brother and his wife.
Oh, tell Christy and Laura, I'm sorry I was too busy to be a good sister.
And remember, holiday checklist in your hotel. Make sure there is a good breakfast, a decent pool, and a serviceable bomb shelter.
Don't be afraid. We will always be watching over you.
Don't be afraid.
We love you.
Love you guys.
I love you so much.
Bye.
Bye, sweet boys.
Ooh, how do we do?
Send it to my mum.
Okay.
Well?
Sent.
How much longer?
Could be any time, I guess.
Should we pray or something?
Dear God, sorry we've blown you out for the last 10 years. We've been really busy.
Be serious.
I wouldn't know what to say. Apologise for everything I've ever done.
What else are we going to do?
We could have sex.
Oh, for the love of God.
Just a suggestion.
People are running. Look at the street, Ed.
God, it looks like it's swarming with insects.
Should we jump?
No, I don't want to go out that way.
Oh, you'd rather be bombed and burned to death?
It might be quicker.
I don't want to die.
Oh, I do.
Oh, well, not today.
You literally just suggested suicide.
You know what I mean. If I had my way, I wouldn't die. Well, not today. Well, I'm not until I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Well, maybe those people know somewhere to go, like a bunker.
I don't want to die in a bunker either.
I don't want to die in a bunker either. I don't want to die today. I don't want to die here. I don't think you get to decide these things.
Okay. Let's go to the bunker. Well, are we going?
I had an affair.
What?
I don't want to die with a guilty conscience. I had an affair.
With who?
A woman at a conference.
Was it just the one time?
Yes. She gave a talk on the history of female warriors. You know how I feel about Xena?
The TV show?
It just happened.
How is that supposed to make me feel?
It was a long time ago, and it just happened the one time. But you know what? It clarified things for me because it made me realize I was in the right place. And all I want is you and the kids.
Okay.
Do you forgive me?
I guess it doesn't matter now we're dying.
I'm really sorry. I've carried around this thing for so long and I've always felt awful about it.
It's okay.
Really?
Well, you're getting punished any minute for it the way I see it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I've been secretly smoking behind your back.
I knew that.
Oh, I was trying to think of a parallel confession.
You've always been a better person than me.
Not really.
Yeah, you are. You've always put me and the kids before yourself, and you didn't get to do everything you wanted to do.
Oh, I guess I'll never write the books I wanted to write.
And I'll never get to India.
You've seen the pictures. It's overwhelming when you're there.
When will it be over?
Think we should check the TV again, or our phones or something?
It's a bit late for that.
Well, might as well check. Hey.
Yeah?
I really do love you, you know.
I love you too.
Wait a minute.
Oh my God.
I can't believe it.
What the? Oh my God.
Ballistic missile threat is a false alarm. Repeat, false alarm.
Message sent in error. There is no missile heading to Hawaii.
Was she prettier than me?
I shouldn't have said anything.
What are we going to do?
I don't know what to do.
Put on some clothes?
Right. Put on some clothes.
Hello everyone. That concludes the show for this evening. I hope you all enjoyed the plays, and I just want to take this moment to introduce you to Stephanie Greenwood, who has been looking after the tech all evening. Hello.
Hello everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this evening's performances. We so enjoyed putting them together. One of our goals as Very Rascals is to centre women's work, and we are so excited this evening to have been able to present the work of 4 female identifying playwrights.
We now want to welcome back the actors to take their bows. First up, we have the cast of Failure. We have Caitlin Kaur, Madeleine Gray, and Kathryn Djemai. Thank you.
Next up is the cast of Evergreen, Scott Afton, and Erin Elkin.
Hey. Thank you guys, it was wonderful. And now we have the cast of Grambo, the lovely Mary Tillett. Ooh.
Oh, where's Mary? Okay, she's got up. We believe in her.
Hey, Mary. Thank you.
Last but not least, the cast of Aloha, Apocalypse, Joanne Rothery, and Ian Renshaw.
Hey.
Cheers, everyone.
Now let's have everyone back on for an encore. A big round of applause to you all. You have done such a fabulous job. Yay! Also wonderful, thank you. So for now, we will say a fond farewell to the actors. So one last round of applause, methinks. Thank you. And we're going to bring back on the writers and back on. They haven't been on yet. The first time you'll see their faces. We are going to bring on the writers and directors for our Q&A section of the show.
This is where you as the audience get to ask your questions. So please, if you have one, get typing. Welcome to all of our writers and directors. Hello.
Who wants to come on?
Nobody wants to. A huge big welcome. Please make yourself comfortable. Thank you, writers, for letting us put on your pieces. They've been so wonderful to watch. And a huge thank you to the directors for bringing them to life.
Indeed. To get us started with the Q&A section, I do have a question for some of the directors. What have you found different about directing online, and what new skills are you going to take with you? Whoever wants to start, just jump in.
I can start. I think the most different thing is that you don't have, of course, like the actual interactions to play off of, and your blocking is extremely limited, and just having to direct people to talk to a sticky note on their wall so that it looks right, you know, it's a completely different feeling. But that said, I think there's an awareness that the actors had to have, because they couldn't like look at each other on screen, and they had to really be able to respond to what they were hearing, that we had to play with and work out. And that was a cool process to watch happen. And it'll definitely take away a lot of technical things. There is a lot of really weird sort of idiosyncrasies to Zoom that will be really useful going forward. And just sort of I learned a lot about lights and sound that I didn't know before through this process, which was great.
Just to piggyback off of what Claire was saying, something I found was that you kind of had to design every moment. There's a wonderful spontaneity in theater that you kind of lose in this format, because if a character one character walks across the screen in one direction, the other character is probably not seeing that to be able to follow them or go after them. And so you have to tell them to do that. And so you sort of lose one element and have to figure out a way to put it back in sort of unnaturally. But it's interesting and a lot of fun.
I have a question for all of our writers. Just to kick us off, something we wanted to know was, can you talk a bit about the first moment where you had an idea for this play? Like, what sparked in your head, or was there one, that sort of initial idea?
Well, my play is based on a real event. There really was an accidental missile threat to Hawaii in January of 2018. So when that happened, I thought, oh, I should kind of put that in my good idea file and maybe write about that someday. I had actually just been in Hawaii 2 months prior for a conference/holiday with my family. And so I thought, gosh, what would I have done if I had been there? So that's where my idea came from. And it wasn't until about a year later, maybe, that I actually wrote the play. I wrote it all in one sitting, and I was crying my eyes out writing it, trying to like imagine being there and everything. But then when I brought it to my writing group, it turned out to be really funny, which I never would have guessed. So it was a really interesting experience.
I know, Lucy, you wrote yours all in one sitting too, right?
Yeah. Hello. So the kind of process of writing Evergreen was that I was working on a shoot for a sofa company, and they specialized in DIY build your own sofas. And the color of the sofa in real life was evergreen. And I was taking part in a playwriting challenge in February called 28 Plays Later, which required you to write a play every day of the month. So I went home that night after the shoot, and I was so tired and I had no inspiration. So I thought, I'm going to write a play about a couple building a sofa together, and kind of think about the ramifications of the kind of the contrast or the contradiction between the homemaking aspect of building a sofa and the kind of sad reality that Rob and Mary are going through, which is failing at their version of homemaking. So the idea was really spontaneous, and it was born out of this challenge that I signed up for. And it just so happened that the name Evergreen just kind of sprung loads of ideas in my brain about the idea of ongoing relationships and finality, and also materialism. And so that all kind of just came together into this short little narrative.
Any of our other lovely writers?
I will talk. Actually, I wrote the play in a day as well, weirdly enough, because it was for a rapid response site specific thing in an open plan office. So, but it kind of, there was a lot of different ideas that bled into it. It wasn't just one moment or sitting, because, you know, like I have a period tracking app, and I've researched Femcare companies, and I've wished I could control my body in certain ways. And I've seen the way women are, you know, vilified in the media and made responsible for all the world's ills. And, you know, like I've been a citizen of this planet, so I kind of absorbed all these things. And then I sat down and I thought about the idea of, you know, the kind of Netflix documentary format of the fascination with people's failures, and that kind of came out. So yeah.
We've had a question come in that's actually kind of more for me and you, Charlotte, which Elizabeth Atkinson is asking if we have plans to perform these live in a regular theatre when that's allowed. What do you think?
I did mention that yesterday, funnily enough. I was like, I want to see all these live and in person. I would love to put them on again at some point, if people wanted to. Yeah, I mean, that isn't a promise because we don't know what's going on, but yeah, I would love to see them in person.
Yeah, and it's definitely something when we read some of the plays, we just thought, oh, this has promised to go further, and we've so enjoyed developing these relationships as well. So I think that's something we'd like to do when we're able to be back in real theatres, is to do these pieces or do different pieces, do longer pieces. But this has worked really well. I've just been so pleased. I think Scratch Nights online and being able to sort of collaborate from all over the world has been really special.
What was your inspiration for Grambo? Did you?
Gramble was it was originally written for the Southwark Playhouse for a project where a team of writers were all invited to write individual pieces as if they were all individual people who all knew one person. It's really hard to explain this because it just sounds nuts. You never got to meet the one person that all the individual characters knew. So this imaginary character was created by impressions from all the other characters created by different writers. And I really wanted to create something quite sort of kind of nasty in a mundane way. I didn't want I felt the character was becoming quite heroic looking at the other pieces of writing, and I wanted to create something that was mundane and very believable, and something that we could all possibly be a bit guilty of, which is just simply not returning calls from an elderly relative because they're a bit boring and a bit tiresome, and just being in that position of not realizing how serious it is when you don't return the call. My dad fell off a ladder. He was 80 something and he fell off a ladder and he didn't tell anyone for about 5 weeks. And the two things kind of came together, this idea of a not very nice person not returning calls from their grandparent, especially as they've just been sent birthday money as well. I mean, it's really kind of selfish. And then the idea of the injury. I just put the two things together and it went from there.
I don't know if you were able to look at comments as sort of Grambo's bits were ending, but I think everyone really resonated with that. We got a lot of heartbreaking and a familiar situation, and yeah, it definitely every time I've watched it this week, it's gotten to me. We have a question. Oh, there's so many now, hooray. If you're wondering, you can type your questions into the live chat in the box. From Katie Williamson, for the directors, where/how did you learn about virtual directing?
I can go first. So I had some connection issues, so I had to run around the house. But I think now I'm here. So I think it's a lot of trial and error. A lot of trial and error, especially while the show is happening. So I think that's one of the first thing. But I think second of all is seeing how different companies and different practitioners really do different things. Really absorbing cinematic material, cinematic moments, seeing whatever's out there. And what was especially helpful for me was to always at the beginning of every process do an R&D or a sort of session where we would just explore camera angles, music, sound, build this sort of a chaos that then would come together, and we would take bits there and form this play. So I think that's what I've been learning the most, is from the actors and from the rest of the team.
The first ever play I did with Pedro, this was in the R&D, I had to be a monster crawling around on my bedroom floor making incredibly weird high-pitched noises, which is a great experience. It was a lot of fun, but I felt very weird.
Chris, you were gonna jump in.
Hey, I'm Xana, director Grambo. In terms of how did I learn about directing over Zoom, I'm not going to add anyone, but it would have been certain people's self-tapes who I directed, who may or may not be on this call a couple times. And actually, I think that was when we weren't all sure how long lockdown was going to happen for. And like, is this a thing we should really build skills towards, or is it just like a 3-month thing or a 6-month thing? I think about 1 or 2 weeks in, I had a lot of people reach out being like, oh, can you direct my self-tape? Or, oh, I'm taking this time to like develop a scene or a skill or a monologue and shoot it. And would you just help me prepare it? While people were kind of building portfolios and stuff. And I think that just like, I was very lucky. I sort of started directing in a casual setting with people I already knew. So all the Zoom awkwardness and the Wi-Fi problems, what didn't feel as serious. So that was a nice ease into directing Grambo over Zoom. And I think kind of similar to what Pedro said, is a lot of R&D. I think that I can't imagine how it must be to act over Zoom. I think that, I always think, at the end of the day, the performers are alone on stage, but usually at least alone with each other or alone with the audience. Whereas now you're just kind of sent off to you're just in your same box that you kind of live in now. And I think that can be a sort of isolating experience. And so I think a lot of the rehearsals we had with Mary was just really a long flowing conversation about how to be how to sort of embody the character, how to relate to the experience, how to physicalize it. In Mary's case, I think on the top of her stairwell, in a corner in the room, and how to recreate that sort of stage-like experience in an empowering way that I think is, at the end of the day, it was entirely, everything was her. She did the lighting, she responded to the voice notes. So I think just kind of creating that experience of trying to emphasize even more so the comfort in the space than maybe I would have otherwise. But yeah, and it was, I think I really enjoyed it, and hopefully, that carried forward as well.
Yeah, I think it resonated with a lot of people. We've had from Chris Hewitt, having seen the characters, it would be good to have a follow-up episode of what happened next. So do the writers have plans for what happens next? Do we have extensions coming? Yeah, what's going on?
A lot of people have asked me if Sophie and Ed stay together, and I don't really know the answer to that. But it would be interesting to know. I don't know. I thought about it, but I don't have a plan to write another play. But yeah, it's a kind of interesting open question. I don't know. I kind of let the audience decide.
Lucy?
Yeah, I feel the same. I like Marcia, I always like ending a play on a question mark. And I think it's more interesting if people go away and debate what they think might have happened. Yeah. And also I'm not taking part in a playwriting challenge, which is bullying me into writing a play every day now. So there's no incentive.
Do you think, another question from Blue Stocking Effigy, which is actually a theatre company we work with sometimes. Do you think that online theatre is here to stay, and any pros or cons of what you've encountered working on this show or on other online shows?
I can answer that. I personally think, I personally think it's here to stay for a while. I mean, I certainly for the next several months, the rest of the year, but I think even beyond that, the benefits of online theater, like accessibility and the ability to work with people from across the globe, or, even just like over one state over, if you normally like only have your New York base or something, is really something that I think we've all gotten used to now. And I don't know if that's going to go away completely. And I think it should stay for that reason. I think, having a wider community involved in theater is a really good thing. And having more people have access to theater is a great thing. It's not the same necessarily as doing it in a real theater, and like as an actor or as a director, like I always want to be in the room, but I would definitely take part in more projects like this even after COVID, because I think there are just so many benefits to it.
Ariella?
Yeah, I've definitely echo the necessity for it, for accessibility, 100%, because theatre has a big problem, accessibility. And I also think I wanted to say what a lot of the directors have kind of said about finding ways to make the Zoom performance theatrical, so translating that. And I think what will be interesting is to see how writing direction evolves to suit the actual format of Zoom rather than maybe having to shoehorn or translate, although translating is really interesting. But like how Zoom is going to be the message, you know, in the same way you've got TikTok and they're telling stories using an online platform. So yeah, I hope it sticks around, and I'd like to see it evolve even more. And I think we saw some really great versions of that this evening.
And I just want to add that, like, for us on our side of it, we were discussing this had a much bigger reach. I think because so many people were involved, but also if we were doing sort of a scratch night at, you know, in one of the small theatres above a pub in London, we wouldn't necessarily get the numbers that we actually got for an online performance. And it's also recorded now for posterity. So if writers want to go back and watch it, if actors want to use it, yeah, there are all these bonuses, I think, to having it online.
We're getting a lot more about we want more Grambo and we want a part 4 and we want to know what happens. Do you have plans for anything?
No, I think it's an interesting question, but I think I would agree with what the other writers have said already, that I like to leave people with a question mark. I think if people go away with the character still hovering between life and death in their head when they leave the virtual theatre, that, to me, that's job done. That's how I like to leave it, with a question mark. But I also think the question about whether or not Zoom performances, online performances are going to stay with us, I think it's a really good question. I think it's a question that a lot of theatre makers are looking at the moment. I have a feeling it probably won't. I think once theatres reopen, I think people will go right. It's like when the pubs reopen, people are going to go running back, and I think that's probably that's understandable. But I think there have been so many wonderful things that have come out of networking online, about creating this new form online. It'd be a shame if they are lost for all the reasons you've said. They do bring people together. Here we are. And I mean, as a disabled playwright living 300 or 400 miles from the nearest professional theatre, I will miss Zoom. I will miss the opportunity to actually see work, at home without having to. And there must be thousands of people in that position like me.
Yeah. And kind of building on that, so writers and directors, do you think that Zoom offers a virtual dimension that you wouldn't be able to use on stage? So, for example, this question says, do you feel it gives more of a direct focus on each individual character?
I think that we also have to kind of differentiate between Zoom theater and digital theater, because there are a lot of negative things about Zoom. But I do think that it offers some interesting perspectives that you don't normally get from theater. And as we see more and more in the theater around the world, technology and film are being incorporated a lot into live theater and onstage theater. And I think Zoom or digital theater is one way that we can start to do that in a very low budget kind of way, and in a time when we can't be on stage.
I also felt that, to add on to that, like in my piece, I think there was already a part of the show that worked better on Zoom than it would have live, which is when they were recording the video to their kids, being able to have the cameras look directly, the actors look directly into the camera and give that. I don't think that would have been as touching or as real on stage. And so I was happy to have something to play with digitally there, and I think it actively enhanced it.
Sorry, go ahead.
We have a specific question for failure, which might allow you to build in your answer. So what were some of the complications of putting on failure, since it had the most characters which were swapped around? And also, was the order in which they appear on screen intentional? And if so, how would you then translate it to stage?
I think I'll go for the first question, because I think the second question more like a question to Ariella. But it it was always it was an amazing journey. It's always a journey trying to figure it out. From the moment I read the script, that was one of the reasons I picked it, and I was like, right, how do we do this? And then, as I said before, it was a lot of R&Ding. There were rehearsals, but very heavy technical rehearsals. And instead of focusing on text and then tech, it was everything brought at the same time. And then there was a lot of repetition, a lot of repetition, and a lot of exploration. So yeah, we were very happy with the outcome, and that was the way we were able to find that sort of dynamic in between the actors. In terms of the screens, that wasn't intentional. That wasn't intentional because we decided quite early on that dynamic of the screens popping up in and out in different places was what we were going for in order to portray that first scene on Zoom. So yeah, wasn't planned. But yeah.
But you, that was your intention. What happened on, like, that was all premeditated.
Oh yes, yeah, that was. Sorry, I'm
not just randomly turning on their camera at any point. I'm gonna go now.
It was all like incredibly thought through by you.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, but keep going.
What was the second question?
So it was the order in which they appeared on screen intentional, which I think no, in terms of the like where they were on the screen was kind of random, but yes, in terms of having the multiple angles, correct?
Yeah. And I thought like I loved, like, that's such a difference between the forms in terms of, you know, you have Brooke on screen by herself and you have these voices talking to her, but you have the internality of it being like filmic, but then you still have that kind of commenting process, which is not like a documentary at all. So I think like the problem with failure is, how do you make it not a documentary when it's a documentary and still theatrical? And these people are existing in the same place, but they're not. So I think Pedro answered that question really well on this format. Yeah.
And how would you want to translate that to stage? Would you want to translate it to stage?
I would be, yes, I would like to, thank you for your question, Steph. I would like to translate it to stage. But I think it has something to do with proximity between the characters and where they overlap, and maybe even removing that kind of naturalistic, maybe they do things at the same time, maybe they're suddenly aware of space in a different way. But you know, I'm not going to direct that, so yeah.
Someone else can figure it out.
Exactly.
I believe we have time for one last question, so if anyone wants to get one in the comments before we finish. I do have one that I want to know, because all of you have worked quite closely together, like the writers have been able to come in and have a bit of input. How have you found that experience? Is it brought more to your pieces? Go for it.
I've had a great experience. I think that you know, I couldn't have asked for a better cast, and I couldn't have asked for a better director. I just felt really welcomed, and I was able to help with a few technical glitches here and there. And, you know, and then I also had to rewrite mine quite a bit because it was written for an American audience. So we worked out cultural differences between like a British viewing audience and British actors. What would a British person say when they were on vacation? They would say holiday. What would we, you know, and the original script says, Ed says, I'll never get to Europe, which doesn't make sense for a British man to say. So we changed it to India, and we had lots of different, you know, back and forth with that. So the script was, you know, I'm going to say there's now a British script and now an American script because they are really different. But it was a tremendous experience, extremely professional and really wonderful. I feel really lucky to have worked with Claire and Ian and Joe. It's been really great.
I also really enjoyed that when the edits came through for those two scripts, the British version just swore a lot more. I just liked that as a
That was mostly Ian. He was just like, can we say this? Sure.
I would just say to that same question that there is no theater without collaboration, and it's really fun to develop new works, especially working alongside great people. And so it was just a wonderful process to be able to reach out to my actors and ask them a question, or to reach out to Lucy and be like, hey, does this make sense? Can we use this thing? And sort of make changes on the spot. And it's kind of one of the great parts of Zoom, and being able to use that and being able to have American directors and UK cast members and people from all around the world working together.
Portuguese. That's very lovely. Oh, sorry. Yes, Pedro.
I think for us it was particularly really important and really useful because Ariella coming in, and there were a lot of questions unanswered about the play, which are part of its structure that Ariella noted down and asked, and that some of the scenes transformed after those questions were asked. And then also getting the feedback from her knowledge of the world of the play. It was really useful for me as a man, which I wouldn't ever have the same experience as a woman who went through those situations and actually built that and went ahead. It was really useful for me to let actors, writer, designers discuss everything, and just really trusting the process, that all the discussion, all those questions would bring this final piece that we showed today. So yeah, I was really happy. And I echo what Adam said, collaboration is key, so key. Can
we squeeze in one more question? Am I allowed?
Yeah.
What have we got? Overall, what have you found the most challenging? What have you enjoyed the most about directing and working on a virtual platform?
I have one more answer from someone.
All right.
Hello.
Go ahead, Lucy.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the thing that I found most challenging is more just a sad thing. I'm sad to not be able to meet people in person and kind of like be in the room with people and bounce ideas off one another to kind of create the final product. But, you know, this is kind of just the beginning of, this could be just the beginning of these scripts and these kind of fruitful partnerships and the different people we've met, directors, actors, other writers. So it's kind of just the beginning, but yeah, it's sad to not be in the space, obviously.
We have promised drinks at some point.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, I believe that brings us to the end. Thank you to everyone who has watched and commented. I really hope that you enjoyed this evening, and a huge thank you to the cast and crew. You have done such fabulous jobs, and we feel very grateful that you allowed us to share your work. I'm super proud of everyone. I hope you all had a great evening and have a great weekend. See you soon at our next Very Rascals show.
If you want any extra information, you can go to our website, which is linked below. And actually we'll pop up right now.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.